Breaker broke 2-3. Today I'm going to show you how I disabled my amplifier in my Galaxy 94 HP. And I'll explain why I did this. This radio has a built-in 100-watt amplifier. This radio will flat key 45 watts on AM and swing to 110. That is with the power control on the face of the radio in the full clockwise position. When you turn it fully counterclockwise, it'll take the wattage down to 8 watts, swinging to roughly 35 watts or so on the peaks. It draws 9 amps from my power supply, whether this amplifier is in the high or low position as far as the adjustment on the front of the radio. Just straight out 9 amps, period. There's a little cooling fan built into this amplifier that works somewhat, but it does develop a lot of heat. Now, around here at night, we talked amongst us locals here, and we're only within a few miles of each other. I honestly don't need 8 watts, I don't need 40 watts, and I sure as heck don't need 110 watts to talk just a few miles. So what I thought was to come up with the way to disable this amplifier. And the reason why I thought about doing that is the EPT 6900 chassis comes, this one anyway, comes with a driver and a final. Okay? With the little export heatsink there. By the way, thank God Ranger left that on there, and I really like the way Galaxy left this thing, you know, pretty heavy duty wise as far as the way it's built. But so what I decided to do was bypass the amplifier and just run the driver and the final inside the radio. So I'll tell you how I did it and what the effect was. You could do this a couple different ways. You could get in here and bite into a power lead and do it that way if you'd like. That's no problem. I decided to go for something a little cleaner. What I did here is on the board here, there's a sensing wire here for the amplifier to trigger the amplifier when you key the radio. And there it is, R243. It's a blue wire, and then the ground is a black wire. And on some Ranger boards / Galaxies, it'll be an orange and black, but it'll still note that location. It's to the rear of the radio. Okay, over here by the test points, this little board that you remove, R243. When you key the CB, that triggers the amplifier. The signal from this driver and final goes through here, through the coax, into the amplifier. The amplifier does its little ditty here, amplifies the signal, brings it back, and back to the chassis-mounted SO239. I did not want to bite into any of this. I didn't want to disable any of this. I just wanted to leave this as clean as I possibly could. So what I did is I took the blue wire out of 243, put it on one side of a toggle switch, took the other side of the toggle switch, put it on 243. Basically, when I flip my toggle switch here, I'm just taking the amplifier out of line. And what's doing that is it's just breaking the connection so the amplifier doesn't get the trigger signal from the radio. So in the down mode it's off, when it's up it's on. The result of that is 2.5 watts with the power control on the front of the radio fully clockwise. I get 2.5 watts dead key. I get about 5-6 watts swinging. When I back the control down on the front of the radio to fully counterclockwise, it will do a 1/2 watt swinging to about 4 or 5. I mean, it can get crazy, but I don't run the audio up very high. This radio with the amplifier on will pull straight 9 amps, no matter what. Just 9 amps. Now this is AM, dead key, 9 amps. And even when you turn it down to the low position at 8 watts, it's still pulling 9 amps. So it's very inefficient. It draws a lot of current off the power supply. You're heating your power supply up. This amplifier is creating a lot of heat. There's just no need for it, just to talk a few miles. So I like what I'm getting when I use the factory driver and final. The radio on its own with the amp disabled will pull about 1.5 amps on the power supply. Everything runs cool. The heatsink on the back, you can talk for a good half hour, 40 minutes before it even gets just past room temperature as far as warmth goes. And the factory linear amplifier on the bottom lid stays stone cold. Everything's intact. It's not hurting anything. You're just disabling the triggering mechanism from the radio to the amplifier. So I hope this little bit of information helps some of you guys out there that are maybe having heat issues or just don't need all that power to talk across the street, you know. That's how you do it. Alright, y'all have a good one out there. Catch you later. Breaker Broke 23, over and out.